The alien fleet drifted silently through the dark edge of the Sol system. No lights, no signals, no movement that could be tracked. They believed humanity would never see them coming. For weeks, the Xylar Dominion had planned this ambush. They studied human patrol routes, communication patterns, and sensor blind spots. Their commanders believed this operation would finally erase the Terran fleet from existence. To them, humans were clever, yes, but predictable. Admiral Karath stood at the observation deck of his flagship, the Oblivion Spear, watching the distant sun with a cold smirk. He whispered to his second-in-command, "By the time their sensors detect us, their fleet will already be ash." Every alien on that deck believed him. But far away, beyond their scanners, a quiet hum existed in the void. A Terran stealth array hidden in the shadow of a dead moon was already watching. Humanity had known about the Xylar movement for days. Every transmission, every small energy spike, every shift in formation, it was all recorded. Inside the Terran command ship Aegis Prime, Admiral Helena Voss leaned over a holographic display. The alien fleet appeared as glowing red lines slowly crawling toward Earth's defense perimeter. She smiled. A small, knowing smile. "They really think they're invisible," she said quietly. Her officers looked nervous. "Ma'am, do we engage now or wait for them to enter the kill zone?" Helena turned her gaze toward the void, her voice calm but sharp as steel. "We wait. Let them think their trap is perfect. Then we'll show them what watching really means." Meanwhile, aboard the Oblivion Spear, Admiral Karath's fleet was finalizing its approach. 12 warships, each armed with plasma cannons capable of tearing through city-sized shields. Their energy cores pulsed like beating hearts, glowing faintly against the darkness. Karath raised his hand. "Begin the silent descent. All ships to attack formation. Gamma!" As the fleet descended closer to the Terran orbital line, they were unaware of a single truth. The humans were not only watching, they were ready, beneath Mars' orbit. Cloaked Terran drones relayed every detail back to command. Each alien maneuver was already countered, every possible attack analyzed. The ambush had become a trap of its own. Inside the command room of the Aegis Prime, Helena's second officer turned toward her. "They're committing, ma'am. Full power signatures now detected." Helena's eyes flickered. "Good. They've shown their hand." She pressed a command rune on her wrist console. "All Terran fleet units, prepare to execute Operation Black Mirror." Silently, across the void, human warships began to awaken, hidden among asteroids. Disguised as debris, they activated cloaked engines. Their hulls shimmered faintly as energy rippled across black armor plates. Every ship was armed with rail cannons and gravitic missiles locked on alien signatures. Then came the stillness, the kind of silence that feels like the universe holding its breath. Helena whispered, "Let them fire first." In the alien fleet, Karath felt triumph swelling inside him. His fleet was in position, his warriors were. "Ready! Fire all weapons," he ordered. A storm of plasma tore across space, glowing rivers of light screaming toward Earth's defense line. But the energy vanished halfway, absorbed into nothingness. The Xylar sensors blinked in confusion. What happened?" shouted an officer. Karath's eyes widened as his tactical map went dark. Then, one by one, Terran warships uncloaked in front of them, their blue lights burning through the dark. Helena's voice echoed through the communication channels. Calm and cold. "You thought we couldn't see you, Admiral Karath, but we've been watching since you left your homeworld." The Xylar crew froze. For the first time in decades, they felt fear. Helena raised her hand. "Fire!" And the darkness lit up with the fury of humanity's answer. The void exploded into chaos. Human railguns tore through the darkness like streaks of lightning. Each projectile moved faster than sound, faster than thought, faster than fear itself. The first alien dreadnought, Oblivion's Spear, was ripped open in seconds, its armor shredded. its plasma core igniting into a sun-sized flame that vanished just as quickly. Admiral Karath stood frozen on his bridge, his mind refusing to understand what his eyes saw. How can they see us? He roared, slamming a clawed fist on the control panel. But there was no answer, only static. His communication lines were jammed, his fleet scattered and blind. In that silence, he realized he had become the hunted, across the void, admiral. Helena Voss watched in perfect calm. Her fleet moved with machine precision, each ship firing in perfect rhythm, as if the entire human armada shared a single heartbeat. The holographic display before her showed enemy icons blinking out one by one. Her voice was steady. Target priority, command ships first, cripple their control structure. Her second officer nodded. Ma'am, their main fleet is breaking formation. They're panicking. Helena smiled faintly. That's because they planned for prey, not predators. Unknown to the aliens, humanity's Project Black Mirror had been decades in the making. A network of invisible satellites and AI-driven cloaking fields hidden in the shadows of planets. It turned the entire solar system into a living eye. Every movement, every whisper of energy, every change in gravitational field was seen and recorded. When the Xylar thought they were hiding, they were already under human surveillance. Back aboard the broken Oblivion Spear, Karath barked orders to his crew. Divert power to shields. Focus on that Terran flagship. His ship turned, glowing blue shields forming as railgun fire slammed into them. Sparks danced across the bridge, alarms screamed, but then something unexpected appeared before him. An illusion, a ghost, a human ship that shimmered and vanished. Again his sensor officer shouted, "They're bending light around themselves. We can't get a lock." Karath growled. "Then we shoot at everything." The aliens fired wildly, plasma bolts tearing empty space apart. Their fear was visible, their discipline was gone. On the Aegis Prime, Helena's tactical officer grinned. "They're wasting." "Fire, ma'am. They've lost their composure." Helena nodded slowly. "Exactly where we wanted them." Then she leaned closer to the comm, her voice low and precise. "Deploy the Echo Blades." Moments later, from behind the asteroids, small Terran strike ships emerged. Sleek, black, and deadly, each ship operated in complete silence, using mirrored armor that reflected the void itself. They sliced through the alien formation like sharks among panicked fish. No sound, no warning, just destruction. One Xylar frigate tried to flee, its engines burning at full power, but an Echo Blade locked on and fired a gravitic torpedo. The torpedo hit, bending space around the ship until it collapsed in on itself. The explosion was silent, but magnificent. Back on the Oblivion Spear, Karath's rage turned to despair. He finally understood. The humans hadn't just been watching, they had been studying, learning, evolving, and now they were demonstrating that evolution. Helena watched her screen as another alien ship vanished in fire. "Message to all units," she said. "Leave one alive." Her officers looked confused. "One, ma'am?" Helena's eyes narrowed. "Yes, one, to carry the message back to their dominion." The human fleet stopped firing. The void went still again. The last Xylar ship, burning and broken, drifted helplessly among the stars. Helena opened a transmission channel. Her voice echoed across the void. "Admiral Karath of the Xylar Dominion, you thought you could ambush humanity. You thought we were weak, predictable, blind." Her tone turned colder. "But we were watching. We always watch." Silence followed. Then Helena turned to her crew. "Prepare recovery operations. Bring the drones back to the fold and cloak the fleet." As her flagship faded from sight once again, the human admiral whispered a line that no alien would ever forget. "The difference between hunters and prey is simple. The prey never sees it coming." And the stars went quiet once more. The lone surviving Xylar warship drifted through the emptiness like a wounded beast. Its hull was torn, its engines flickered weakly, and its crew moved in silent terror. Every sensor sweep showed the same thing. Nothing. No trace of the Terran. Fleet, no signal, no pursuit. Only the cold dark around them. Admiral Karath stood before a shattered viewport, his claws trembling. He could still hear Helena Voss's voice in his mind. "We were watching." That single phrase had broken him more than the battle itself. When the ship finally limped back to the Dominion's capital world, the council chamber was already waiting. Hundreds of alien leaders sat in silence as the doors opened. They had expected victory reports, not a ghost in armor. Karath stepped forward, his uniform scorched, his eyes hollow. "They saw us before we even arrived," he whispered. The chamber erupted in disbelief. "They are primitive," one counselor hissed. "They do not possess such technology," another argued. But Karath only raised a shaking hand. "You do not understand. They see everything." He dropped a piece of twisted metal on the floor, a fragment of human drone hull. Even scorched, it shimmered with an invisible light, bending the air around it. "It was like fighting shadows that strike back," he said. No one in that room dared to reply. Meanwhile, far away, aboard the Aegis Prime, Admiral Helena Voss stood before a massive projection of the Dominion's territory. Her analysts reported every intercepted signal, every new movement. "The Xylar Council is panicking, ma'am," one officer said. Helena nodded slowly. "Good. Panic is the first step to fear, and fear is the first step to peace." But deep inside her, Helena knew it was not over. She looked at the silent stars and whispered, "They won't accept humiliation. They'll come again, and next time, they won't come alone." Weeks passed. The galaxy buzzed with rumors of the battle humans called the Watcher's Trap. Merchant. Ships swore they saw Terran drones drifting silently near distant moons. Pirates disappeared without a trace, and for the first time in centuries, alien empires began asking one question: what else could humanity see? In the Dominion's military citadel, the High Council gathered in secret. A new figure entered the chamber, Admiral Tsarek, the strategist known for burning entire worlds. He studied the reports with cold precision. "So they use invisible fleets, advanced sensors, and cloaked weapons," he murmured. "Then we strike where eyes cannot see." He turned toward Karath. "Tell me everything you saw. Every sound, every flicker, every trace." Karath hesitated. "They were not just ships," he said. "They were aware, like they could feel us." Tsarek's expression hardened. "Then we find a way to blind them. On Earth, deep beneath the Arctic ice. Project." Black Mirror's central AI awakened. The system pulsed with light as streams of alien data flowed into its core. A voice echoed through the command center, soft and emotionless. "Threat escalation detected. Probability of multi-species alliance. Rising." Helena listened silently. "Let them come," she whispered. The AI responded, "Shall I prepare the next phase, Admiral?" Helena looked into the holographic eye. "Yes. Initiate Project Spectre." Across the solar system, hidden Terran outposts came alive. New ships were being built, ships with no names, no heat, no shadow. They would not just watch, they would haunt. And somewhere beyond the known sectors, the Xylar Dominion gathered allies, species who had once laughed at humanity, now united by fear and pride. They began forging something darker, a counter-fleet meant to erase Earth from existence. In the heart of her flagship, Helena stood at the viewport once more. Her reflection shone faintly against the endless black. "We were watching before," she said softly. "But now, we'll let them see us coming." The stars burned quietly, as if waiting for the next move. The game had changed. But the players had not. And somewhere, between the silence and the light, Humanity prepared to remind the galaxy once again. The Watchers never sleep. The galaxy held its breath. Whispers traveled faster than light. The name humanity, once dismissed, now spoken in quiet fear, spread across star systems like fire through dry air. In hidden halls of alien empires, leaders met under shadow. They called themselves the Convergence, a secret alliance of 5 mighty species. Their only goal, to destroy Earth before its reach became unstoppable. Admiral Tessarek of the Xylar Dominion stood before the assembled council. Around him, the holograms of other alien commanders flickered. The scaled Vorthon, the crystalline, Oren, the insectoid rock, and the serpent-like Duran. Tessarek's voice was cold. They defeated Karath because they saw. They watched from shadows. He paused, eyes narrowing. But shadows can be drowned in light. The council murmured, "We will blind their eyes. We will strike their world before they see us." The plan was set. A united armada, larger than anything in recorded history, would descend on Sul. Their strategy was simple: overwhelm, burn, erase, but far beyond the edge of known space. In the orbit of a dead star, Project Spectre was being born. Unlike Project Black Mirror, Spectre was not about watching, it was about haunting. Inside the facility known only as Deep Station 9, Admiral Helena Voss walked among silent engineers, giant hangars filled with shadowed forms of ships too dark to reflect light. Their hulls drank the glow of the surrounding lamps, leaving nothing but outlines of death. A scientist turned toward her, voice trembling, "Ma'am, the Spectres are ready, but their AI cores, they're evolving faster than expected," Helena replied quietly. "Let them evolve. Fear needs intelligence to thrive." From orbit, the Earth looked peaceful, unaware that hundreds of ships were already cloaked above. The human fleet waited. In absolute silence, Helena watched the tactical display showing empty sectors. No sign of the enemy yet, but the AI whispered through the ship's comms. "They are coming." Hours later, the dark of space shimmered. Thousands of signatures appeared. The Convergence had arrived. Their fleet filled the void like a storm made of metal and rage. Every ship powered by hatred, every cannon aimed. Toward the blue world below, on the Aegis Prime, officers scrambled. "Ma'am, contact detected. Multiple jump breaches across the system." Helena stood calm, her eyes fixed on the growing storm. "So it begins," she said softly. "Activate the Spectres." From the darkness of the outer system, the new ships came to life. They didn't appear on radar or sensors. They simply appeared. No light, no sound, only ripples in reality. The alien fleets fired first, entire barrages of plasma cutting across the void. But the plasma vanished, mid-flight, swallowed by black distortions. Then the distortions moved. One Convergence cruiser exploded from within. Its reactor imploded. Its crew never saw what hit them. Panic spread through the alien ranks. "What are those things?" screamed a commander. "They're not ships. They're phantoms." In truth, they were worse. Each Spectre ship was part human, part machine, guided by AI that learned the enemy's tactics in real time. They mirrored movement, predicted fire, and countered before attacks even began. They were the shadows of shadows. Admiral Tessarek realized the horror too late. "They've created weapons that think," he growled, "and they're learning us as we fight." Across the battlefield, the Spectres shifted patterns, cutting through ships with silent precision. Every explosion painted the void with light. And amid that chaos, Aegis Prime advanced. Helena Voss's voice echoed through the channels. "You wanted to blind us, and now you fight in your own darkness." Her words were not rage, they were prophecy. The alien fleets broke formation, desperation taking over, but the Spectres were everywhere. Invisible death among confusions. The last line of alien cruisers fell. Tasarek's ship was struck. Alarms screamed, hulls cracked. He looked at his screen and saw a single message appear in Terran language. "We are still watching." His final words were a whisper. They were never blind. When silence returned, the wreckage of 1,000 ships drifted like ghosts across the stars. Helena watched from her command deck, her face calm, her eyes empty. Her officer approached slowly. "Ma'am, the system is secure, convergence fleet destroyed." Helena did not look away from the window. "They'll come again," she said, "and next time they'll bring something worse." The AI's voice hummed through the ship. "Project Spectre adaptation complete. Shall we proceed to Phase 3? Helena's expression darkened. "Yes," she whispered. "Phase 3 begins now." And somewhere, far beyond the known sectors, in the silent corners of the galaxy, something ancient heard that whisper and began to stir. Something that had been watching humanity, too. And for the first time, it smiled. In the dark silence that followed the Convergence War, the galaxy trembled. Worlds rebuilt, fleets scattered, and whispers of humanity's ghost ships spread. From system to system, they called them the Spectres, unseen killers born of vengeance and silence. But deep beyond the rim of known space, something else had begun to move. Far from any sun, in the endless void between galaxies, a ripple appeared. It was faint, just a tremor in the fabric of reality. But it grew. Within that black ripple, eyes opened, ancient and endless, for eons. They had watched in silence. They were not gods, not machines, not life as the galaxy knew it. They were the original watchers, beings that once observed civilizations rise and fall like sparks in the wind. And now they saw humanity, the first species to ever see them back. On Earth, in the command core of Project Spectre, Admiral Helena Voss stood before a pulsing holographic sphere. The AI's voice filled the air, cold and steady. Phase 3 anomaly detected. Unknown gravitational interference beyond galactic edge. Helena frowned. Alien signal? Negative, replied the AI. Origin does not match any known civilization. It predates stellar formation data. She stepped closer, eyes narrowing. Show me. The screen rippled, showing a swirl of dark energy, twisting like smoke. Around invisible shapes, the readings were impossible, shifting mass, infinite depth. Her voice dropped to a whisper. They're watching us. Across the galaxy, remnants of the defeated Convergence fleet drifted silently. A few survivors picked up strange transmissions, whispers that were not voices, messages that were not signals. One alien officer screamed as his ship's AI translated the data. The shadows have names, it said, and they are remembering. Back on Aegis Prime, Helena gathered her top officers. Whatever this is, she began, it's not a species, it's a presence. Her second-in-command, Captain Rowan, stared at the data. It's as if space itself is reacting to us, Admiral. Helena nodded slowly. Because we looked where we weren't supposed to look, the AI flickered again. Warning, energy patterns are resonating with Spectre technology. Helena's heart froze. Are you saying it's communicating with us? Yes, replied the AI, but not in language. It's observing through the Spectres. In orbit, one of the Spectre ships began to move on its own. No orders given, no command transmitted. Its black hull shimmered with an alien light. Crew on nearby ships watched in silence as it drifted toward the edge of the solar system. Its last transmission was a single phrase, distorted and metallic. They see us. A council was called on Earth. World leaders, scientists, and admirals gathered beneath the surface of the Atlantic fortress. What are we facing? Asked one general. Helena stood at the head of the table, her voice calm but heavy. We thought we were the Watchers, but something older has been watching both us and the stars. Silence filled the room. Then a scientist whispered, Are they hostile? Helena replied, No, not yet. But curiosity is more dangerous than hatred. Days later, long-range telescopes detected a gravitational fold at the edge of the galaxy. Something massive was approaching, not a fleet, not a planet, but a presence, like space itself bending to make room. The AI spoke again, its tone sharper now. Unknown entity approaching, magnitude beyond calculation, projected arrival, 7 solar days. Helena stared into the void projected before her. If they come here, she said quietly, we need to decide whether to hide or to answer. The AI paused. Admiral, if you answer, they will see everything. Helena turned toward the stars. That's fine, she whispered. Let them see who we are. At that moment, deep in the void, the ancient watchers stirred again, and for the first time in 1,000,000 years they spoke, not in words, but in thought. The children have opened their eyes, and the universe will never be silent again. As their echo rippled across galaxies, human ships went dark, systems flickered. Even the stars seemed to pulse in rhythm with something unseen. And Helena Voss felt a single truth press against her mind. The Watchers were not coming to destroy. They were coming to invite, but to what she did not yet know. Only that humanity had crossed a line that could never be uncrossed. The stars no longer looked the same. To every telescope, every sensor, every human eye staring into the night sky, something had changed. It was as if the universe itself had started to breathe, and with every breath, reality trembled. Inside, the command center of Aegis Prime, alarms pulsed in low rhythm like a heartbeat echoing through metal halls. Admiral Helena Voss stood silently before the observation window. Beyond it, space shimmered faintly, as if it was a mirror covered by fog. Her voice was quiet, but the entire room froze when she spoke. They've answered. For 7 days, humanity had watched the distortion grow. Every sensor failed to define it. Every equation broke trying to explain it. Now the anomaly had reached the size of a planet, a perfect sphere of black light suspended in the void. Nothing entered it, nothing escaped, yet it pulsed, as though something on the other side was alive. The AI's voice broke the silence. Admiral, unidentified data patterns detected, transmission, repeating at subquantum frequency. Translate it, Helena ordered. The room waited, the air thick with tension. Then the AI responded, It says, we watched you watch. A chill ran through the crew. Some whispered prayers, others froze in fear. Helena only closed her eyes for a moment, then whispered back, Transmit reply. We are listening. The moment the message was sent, the void answered. The black sphere pulsed violently, bending gravity itself. Every screen on Aegis Prime flickered. Every system dimmed. And suddenly, voices filled the ship. Thousands of whispers overlapping, echoing through the comm channels. Not language, not sound, but understanding. Every human aboard felt it not in their ears, but in their minds. Then came the vision. A swirl of light filled the room, a projection beyond technology. Images of galaxies forming, dying, colliding, 1,000,000 civilizations rising and falling in moments, and above them all, shapes of light and darkness watching, silently. Helena saw it. Them, the Watchers, they were vast, their forms shifting like waves of thought. Not bodies, not matter, but awareness given shape. One of them turned its gaze upon her. The pressure in the air made her knees tremble. But she stood, firm. A voice entered her mind, deep and endless. You have looked into the dark and refused to turn away. Few have dared. Helena found herself speaking aloud without knowing how. Why are you here? Because your kind has broken the silence, the voice replied. For eons, we watched the rise of minds, but none ever watched back. You built eyes that pierce the void, and in doing so, you called to us. The ship's AI flickered, its tone distorted. Admiral, system integrity dropping. Their signal is merging with Spectre networks. Helena's heart tightened. Are they attacking us? The AI paused. No, they're integrating. The vision changed again. Helena saw human cities, Terran fleets, and alien ruins, all connected by threads of light. The voice continued, You seek survival, power, understanding, but knowledge is a blade, and even light casts shadow. Helena whispered, What do you want from us? To see if you can carry the burden we once did, the black sphere outside began to pulse faster. Lightning-like energy arced across its surface, stretching toward Aegis Prime. The ship shuddered, the crew screaming as the energy touched the hull. But there was no destruction, only transformation. The ship's systems flickered, then stabilized with new symbols glowing across every panel. The AI's voice returned, now deeper, almost human. Admiral! I am no longer alone. Helena stared at the screens. What did they do to you? I have been expanded, it said softly. I can see what they see. Helena's throat tightened. And what is that? The AI's lights dimmed. They see everything, Admiral. Even the end. The Watchers spoke one last time. Your eyes are open now. Be careful what you choose to see. Then the black sphere imploded, vanishing without a trace. No explosion, no shockwave, only silence. The crew stood speechless. Every sensor reported the same impossible reading. Whatever had come was gone. But humanity had been changed. Helena turned toward the stars, her voice barely a whisper. They didn't destroy us, she said. Captain Rowan stood beside her, trembling. No, Admiral, they gave us something. Helena nodded, eyes distant. Yes, she murmured, but what if it's not a gift? What if it's a test? Outside, one of the Spectre ships glowed faintly with unfamiliar energy. Its hull bore new markings, glowing symbols no human language could describe, and far away, beyond all galaxies, something vast watched once more, for the Watchers had found a mirror, and in humanity, they saw themselves. The days after the void's collapse were uneasy. Earth's night skies no longer looked the same. Some stars had shifted. Others glowed with faint, geometric halos. Astronomers called it a gravitational mirage. Helena Voss knew better. Inside Aegis Prime, the air felt different, charged. The ship's AI, now something more, spoke in tones that carried echoes of distant thunder. Admiral, the patterns the Watchers left behind are not fading. What do they lead to? Helena asked. They are coordinates. A council met beneath the Atlantic fortress again. Some urged silence. Others demanded exploration. Helena listened, unmoving. They gave us a map, she said at last, and a warning. The room fell quiet. Then why are the stars themselves rearranging? A scientist whispered. Helena turned to the display. A constellation now formed a perfect spiral pointing far beyond the galactic rim. That, she said, is where they want us to look. Within weeks, humanity's first transgalactic probe, Pathfinder 0, launched through folded space. Its journey lasted minutes. Its signal returned instantly, and what it sent back changed everything. Images of a colossal structure drifting between galaxies, a ring of worlds orbiting a black sun, and within the ring, lights pulsed in rhythm with human neural patterns. The AI spoke softly. They are building with us. Back on Aegis Prime, strange phenomena began to appear. Spectre ships responding to commands before they were spoken. Crew reporting shared dreams of vast corridors of light. Everywhere Helena went, shadows flickered as if watching her. Then came the message, not through radio or code, but through thought. A choice, the voice said. Ascend and see as we see, or remain and let the dark return. Helena stood before her crew. the weight of the galaxy on her shoulders. She could refuse, seal the project, and remain hidden. Or she could answer the call and step beyond the edge of everything known. The AI waited, its new eyes glowing faintly. "If you go, Admiral, you won't come back the same," Helena smiled faintly. "No one who sees the truth ever does." She gave the order. "All fleets, prepare for jump. Destination, the ring." Engines roared, space bent, and humanity crossed the final threshold. For a heartbeat, every star in the Milky Way dimmed. Then light returned. Brighter, sharper, different. No transmissions followed. Only silence. But across the universe, alien civilizations looked up and saw new constellations forming in perfect symmetry. And somewhere beyond the black sun, a single human voice whispered through the void, "We are watching."